Today is a very exciting day because I am here at the Bush House and I am finally going to start working on this property and getting my hands dirty. After removing the thatch, we found a couple of issues, which has turned this job into a much bigger job than it was originally supposed to be. I mean, just look at this. Where else in the world do you get this? I flew into Joburg early morning, got in the car straight away and headed north to Palabora. It's a long drive, but I love the route, and with a few good podcasts queued up, it didn't feel long at all. I woke up early so that I could get as much time out of the day as possible. It was going to be a long day of work today and I wanted to make the most of it. Today is a very exciting day because I am here at the Bush House and I am finally going to start working on this property and getting my hands dirty. It is unfortunately a bit of a bleak day. I don't know if you can see there, very rainy, and that's why I'm sitting in the car to record this. But despite the circumstances, we're going to try get a lot of work done. You may hear that I'm a little bit nasally in my throat. A few days before I left, I picked up a chest infection, which was not ideal. But the day before I left, I was feeling well enough, so I thought, let's go and make the most of it. I was thinking about cancelling at one point, but I'm glad that I'm here and that I didn't cancel. This project would not be possible if I was just going to do it myself, because I just don't have the time and the availability to pull everything off. As much as I'd love to, and it's a dream of mine one day to complete a project from start to finish just by myself, this is just not realistic for me to do that. So I've got a guy called Andrew who is helping me out, and he's got a team of guys, and they actually got started a week ago already removing the thatch from the house. So let me turn you around and you can see that the house is looking quite bare and empty. All the thatch has been removed. Unfortunately, after the thatch was removed, it revealed a whole bunch of problems. The previous structure of the roof was not rigid and sound, and there was different poles that had split, and the roof was actually sinking in the middle. So all of that is going to have to be rebuilt. But yeah, that's part of what we're here to find out and to figure out and to fix. So today we are going to work on that. We're going to go get some new poles for the roof and probably even start with the structure, and then we're potentially going to start with some demolition work as well.
And so we headed to town to purchase some materials that we needed for the roof. There are a few places that supply roofing materials in town, so we shopped around for the best prices.
I need 8 but this one is just because it's expensive and energy.
I'm just waiting for Andrew to get one final quote on some materials that we need. We have been driving from place to place to place this morning, trying to get all the materials and stuff that we need for the roof structure. We have managed to get most of it, but not all of it. The stuff that we didn't get, I think I'm going to try get on Monday, maybe tomorrow. But it's all stuff that will need to be bought in from other towns. So yeah, we'll see when we're able to get that. But yeah, once we're done here, we are going to head back to the bush estate and actually get some work started. Good morning. I've got a question. I'm looking for some wooden lats, 4.5 meters in a bundle.
Okay, let me quickly check.
Do you know when they're going to come in? Yeah. Oh really?
And the budget, yes, and then the budget is 3 to 8.
Work on the roof started a week ago. Andrew came in while I was still in Cape Town to remove the thatch, and you can see here all over is the thatch that has come off of the roof. And yeah, after removing the thatch, we found a couple of issues, which has turned this job into a much bigger job than it was originally supposed to be. So you can see that piece of the roof there was all caving in because it wasn't supported properly. It's supposed to be supported with a king pole, and there wasn't one put in place, and the whole thing was collapsing, and that was causing a damp spot on the one side of the roof, which would leak into the property and cause, as you can imagine, all sorts of problems. So this middle section of the roof here, you can maybe even see there, the poles are splitting. A number of different poles have split and completely sunken in. And where you've got these two poles going down here, it should actually just be a single pole to create a valley on the roof so that the water can drain off. So this section here used to leak profusely and drop all over the kitchen floor. The floor's looking like a bit of a disaster at the moment. But yeah, that's one of the major problems. And then, I don't know if we'll be able to see this. Let's have a look. This pole here as well at the top is split. So all of that needs to be fixed. So yeah, essentially what we're going to have to do now is redo the whole structure of the roof. And you can see over here, we've already started to take off the poles. And all of the poles are going to come off, and we're going to be able to luckily reuse some of the poles, but some of the cross poles, the lats, have rotten away. There they are down there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, some of those have rotted, so we have to go and get new ones of those. Yeah, windows definitely going to have to be replaced at some point. But yeah, house is looking very naked at the moment. Here's the other side of the house where all the thatching has been taken off. Some rotten laths on the floor here. This tree here has been taken out in the past by an elephant. It's still growing though, so the whole root system seems to be half out the ground, but the tree is growing strong. And yeah, this is, so I think we're going to head to Hoedspruit now to see if we can go get some lats. We did check all the local shops here in Palabora, and none of them have the amount of lats that we need. So we're going to go to Hoedspruit quickly and get them, and yeah, bring them back then.
I'll never turn down a quick visit to Hoedspruit. I love the town and go through it often.
nothing like driving the roads between Hoedspruit and Palabora, and even the roads outside of Palabora. It's just game reserve after game reserve after game reserve, and it's so wild. On this drive from Hoedspruit to Palabora that I'm doing now, I've seen elephants, I've seen giraffe, I've seen impala. It's just so wild and it's so cool to see. The one thing for me though that is sad is that you've got, if you look, if I turn you around, you've got a game farm this side and you've got a game farm this side, and it's all these wild ecosystems that exist, and you've got this road that splits them, and it splits this what could be one big ecosystem into two different ecosystems. You know, with these fences, kind of creates a barrier for animals that they're not able to roam freely as they used to. And I know there's a need for connecting towns and for, you know, getting from town A to town B in the most efficient way, but I feel like there's a better solution for connecting towns than having to create all these different private ecosystems, small ecosystems, when it could all just be one big area for animals to roam freely. So yeah, that's just what I was thinking about along this drive, and it's just incredibly beautiful though, and I'm loving this drive, and I'm loving kind of looking at the different reserves and seeing what's walking the fence line. It's the most incredible thing. I mean, just look at this. Where else in the world do you get this? So we just came back from Hoedspruit. We left with most of a roof, at least the structure of a roof, and we came back and there's just about nothing left. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poles, if anything. So yeah, it's good that the roof structure is mostly gone, and that means tomorrow we could probably start rebuilding the new structure. I'm going to go inside the house now and see if I can, well, I want to see how loose the tiles are, how well the job was done when they were put in, because if they're loose then we can just use a hand chisel and a hammer to get rid of them, but if they are very, very stuck to the floor, I'm going to have to go rent a jackhammer or something along those lines to get them out. So let me go see inside if I can chip some off just with a little chisel and a hammer. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to remove some of these skirt-in tiles, and I learned a little trick on YouTube that if you break the tile first, it's apparently a little bit easier. Phew, I'm sweating a bit. I think this sickness is getting to me. Yeah, so it actually wasn't too bad. I took 2 tiles off here, just skirt-in tiles. There is a thick layer of tile adhesive behind the tile itself, and I did find that it's easier if you remove the whole tile and not smash it into little pieces. But I do think it's going to go a lot quicker with the tool. So I think tomorrow I'm going to rent a hammer tool, and yeah, tomorrow is the day that we're going to start lifting all of these tiles throughout the whole house. Alright, end of day 1 update. As you can see, basically the whole roof structure is gone, and if we go inside the house, everything is a bit of a hot mess at the moment. But yeah, we've made a lot of progress, which I'm very excited about. Tomorrow, like I mentioned, a lot of demolition work. Let's go in here, you can see extremely messy. All of this needs to come out, all of that needs to come out. This kitchen island is going to come out. Most of that kitchen stuff is coming out. That guy's coming out. Cupboards in here coming out. This toilet is going to be broken out. So yeah, lots of demolition work. I don't know how much of it's going to be done while I'm still here. I am here until Monday. Today's Thursday, but I'm spending the weekend in the Kruger Park. So I'm going to just try get as much done as I can. My plan tomorrow is to focus on the floor, lift in as many of these tiles as possible. And yeah, Andrew is going to start on the roofing structure tomorrow. So he's hoping to have most of the structure done before I leave. I don't know if he's going to be able to work that fast, but he's very good at what he does, so hopefully. And yeah, so demolition and a bit of roof structure tomorrow. And then on Saturday morning, I head in the Kruger for 2 days and then come back out Monday. Starting to rain on me. Yeah, the weather just loves that I don't have a roof on this property. So trust my luck, it rains when I take the roof of the property off. So also a lot of thatch that has come off the roof. That needs to be discarded of. I think that might go, we might start taking that tomorrow as well to the dump. And yeah, I was talking to Meg today on WhatsApp, and we're in two minds. We're thinking about potentially, I don't know if it'll work, but we're potentially thinking about putting a loft up there. My worry is that the space is too small and that you're trying to cram a lot of rooms into a small house, and it also affects the layout of the toilets below. But it would be nice to have that extra space for if extra kids come with us on a holiday here, then we can put them up there. So yeah, it's 50-50. I still need to make a decision on that. And then one of the other things that is getting done here, can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but we get in a little piece of roof built out here, so there's going to be like an entrance way just outside that's protected by some new roofing. And one of my ideas is to get natural trees, obviously dead trees, and use those as the poles that hold up the roof structure. It's quite a common thing in bush estates. The ideal type of wood to use for that is leadwood, but it's illegal to harvest leadwood in this country at the moment. It's on the do not harvest list. So I think we're going to go with mapani, and I've got this tree here that the elephants push down that has basically become a useless tree at this point. I mean, it is still alive, but it's never going to grow tall. It's eventually probably going to die, and there's lots of new little mapanis that are showing up all over the place here. So I'm thinking I think it would be very cool if I could take this tree and use it as one of the posts. So it's like a post that is actually from the property, and then we just need to find another post from another tree. But you can see here the elephants are very destructive. Here's another tree, is a mapani, yeah, and it's also been, actually this isn't a mapani tree, I don't know what this is, but also just been pushed over by the elephants. They just come in here and they cause havoc. So at the moment there's no elephants on the property, so we are safe from them, but it would be nice if they show up and I can get some footage of them. But I know I'll see a lot of elephants when I go into the Kruger on Saturday. Yeah, so that's about it. Oh, the other thing is this aircon needs to be removed, the inside unit as well, probably the stove. I need to take all that down tomorrow, because as we do demolition, we don't want any of that getting damaged. It's still a very good aircon unit there. And then yeah, like further ideas for the house. This is one of the rooms. I want a door coming out here onto a little deck. I'm thinking about building, like on this wall here, like a little read-in nook / hide. Just think of a big open window that looks out this way, and then put in like a little water hole or something here for the animals to come up, and then you can kind of sit on the window here and look out at the water hole, and do a lot to kind of attract birds to this area. The bird life here is quite insane. So that's it for now. I'll be back tomorrow, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a good night's rest. I wanted to show you my sleep-in quarters for the first few nights before it becomes a huge mess with all my stuff. On the outside, here it is, and this is in the Palabora Safari Park. So I'm staying in one of the tented safari huts, which is literally just a tent with a bed and some furniture in it. But the safari park itself is actually quite nice. I've stayed here a few times in the past and it's quite empty at the moment. I'm sure a lot of people will be pulling in for the long weekend, but for now it's nice and quiet. That's the bathroom down there, and then if we go back into the tent, I'll open up. It might be a little bit dark inside here. You can hear the fridge is on. Let's open up. Oh, it's not too bad on the windows. Oh, the light's on. So let me open some more of these windows so you can get a better look. So this is my little workstation here where I'm doing my work in the evenings. And then it's a double bed, it's a little closet with a blanket, definitely not needed. Oh, the aircon is on. Let's see, how do I turn that off? We'll turn that off for now. But little coffee station, glasses, mugs, coffees, wash up lamp, and got a fridge, kettle, and inside the fridge is just a bottle of water, which was complimentary. So yeah, quite happy with this. It's quite comfortable. The other option was to pitch a tent inside the house because it doesn't have a roof, but I thought, no, it's going to be a lot more comfortable here, so quite happy to be here.
I worked for the rest of the evening in my tent and then got some well-deserved rest in anticipation for another busy day tomorrow.